I am Deepak Trivedi from District 3232B1. I welcome you all to this session on communication skills. In February 2013, Yahoo HR department they circulated one memo to all their employees stating that henceforth all the office work will be done within office premises only. Now this was a major cultural change from what they had been doing all these years. So that memo also included some generic, unimportant, unpersuasive things like we will feel new buzz and energy in our offices. This plummeted the morale of the people. Here the people wanted to know whether it was because of the productivity issues, whether it was because of the financial losses, or there was some other reason. But when they did not get the answer, they got frustrated and confused. Here also, we can see in this picture that ineffective communication has resulted into laying down of the entire track in the wrong fashion. So friends, communication is something what we have been doing all these years, every day in our life. So it should be simple, right? But it is not. It can be really disastrous if it is ineffective. It can reduce your efficiency. It can have conflicts. It can reduce productivity, non-completion of the targets. And conversely, when the communication is effective, it can build the relationship. It can have more productivity, innovation, and it will be good for the district if there is this thing, harmony. Now, we will see in this session, we will learn about certain skills which you have to learn as second vice district governor. So, I will request Mandira to read the session objectives.
Recognize the communication process, identify effective communication skills, utilize effective communication skills, and promote cross-level communication within the district.
So, as a second vice district governor, when you are going to communicate with your DG teams, with your district officers, and through zone chair, you will be communicating with your club people also. So, you have to be a really effective communicator. Now, we will do a small activity to get us thinking about what is communication. I am giving you a piece of paper. Now in a moment, I am going to give you certain instructions which you have to follow, and during the process of my giving the instructions, you don't have to ask me any questions. Okay. Hold the paper like this in your hands. Close your eyes. You are not going to open your eyes during the process of this activity. Now fold it once. Fold it again.
Eyes closed.
Cut the right corner. Fold it once more. Cut the left corner. Turn it over. Cut the right corner. Now you can open your eyes and hold the paper straight in your hands. Now, what you have done and what I have done, is it same?
No.
Why? Had I been a good communicator, this should have been same. Why it is not same?
Not proper instructions, not able to understand me.
Yeah. So my instructions were not with the proper direction. You could have interpreted in any way you wanted, right? And also you are not able to see what I was doing so that you can imitate and do it yourself, right? Okay. So now we will start with a definition of communication. I request Rudra to read this loud.
A two-way process in which participants exchange thoughts, messages, or information through speech, signal, writing, or behavior.
So it's a two-way process. Communication is a two-way process, that we all agree. Now let's take the example of what activity we did just now. In this, I gave you the instructions, so I was the sender. You received the instructions, so you are the receiver. But was it a complete communication?
No.
To ensure there is a complete communication, there has to be exchange of the communication. One is sender, one is receiver, but you were not allowed to ask any questions. So it was not a really two-way communication. For two-way communication, you have to have the proper exchange of ideas, and you have to ask the questions. You should give the clear instructions, and that's why, as a second vice district governor, it is very necessary for you to learn the process of communication. There are so many skills for learning the communication skills, but for the purpose of this session, we are going to take 4 skills. Now let's have a look at the skills. Balbir, can you read out the skills?
Active listening, non-verbal communication, direct expression, giving, receiving feedback.
Active listening. To become a good communicator, an effective communicator, you have to be a very good listener, first of all. And there are certain traits which you have to follow to become an active listener. So let's now look at what are the skills that we need to become an active listener. Pay attention mentally and physically. Now when you are attending a session, you have to pay attention mentally as well as physically. Physically, of course, you are present, but mentally, your body posture should be such that yes, you are listening to what I am saying, you are saying yes, or you are responding whenever required what I am saying. So that way, active listening, the first thing is that paying attention, and your body postures, your eye contact should be such that you get to be in connectivity with the speaker. Now the second thing is, Mandira, will you read the second thing?
Do not rely on memory.
Do not rely on memory. I'll tell you one real life example, that when I was working with Microbos many years back, and I was attending one workshop on communication skills. In that workshop, there was a activity where 10 participants were invited, and they were asked to sit in one room. And then the one board was kept on which some matters were written, like our managing director, Mr. Vacha, is coming on this and this date, and he will be visiting this, he will be doing this. Some 2 paragraphs were there. The first person was called, and he was asked to read it and memorize it properly. So he read it, he was asked to reread it. So he memorized, and then the board was taken away. Then the second person was called. That way, when the 9th person told the 10th person, it was a hilarious moment. It was like a comedy show amongst the participants, because the message was totally mutilated. There was nothing which was there in the original message. So never rely on your memory. You have to write down when some important discussion is going on, some important meeting is going on. You don't rely on your memory. You just write down what is important, because that will give the speaker also encouragement, because he will feel that yes, I am being heard properly, and that the person is really serious about what I am saying. Yeah. Next, Rudra, can you read the third one?
Defer judgment.
Defer judgment. Now, deferring the judgment is something what, it is human psychology, that all the time our mind is, when somebody is telling something, our mind is always working on finding answers or finding something disagreeable or analyzing that, we start processing immediately. During the session we learned that we have to process the feedback afterwards, but we start processing immediately, and sometimes the participant will interrupt. He will be judgmental. He will become judgmental, so then he will not take the message in the proper perspective because he will become biased. So never be judgmental and defer your judgment. First listen to the speaker fully, first listen to what he has to say, and then only you can have your own opinion or your questions when he asks you to give your feedback or ask questions on that. So be very careful about that part. Then Mandira, can you read the fourth one?
Paraphrase for clarity.
Paraphrase for clarity, yes. Sometimes what happens, that when the speaker tells something, we do not 100% we understand. So we can just, when the proper time comes, not in between, but when the proper time comes, we can say, sir, if I have understood correctly, did you mean to say this? Like that, we can paraphrase for the clarity and confirm that what we have understood is correct, or if you have not understood correctly, at least the correction will come while paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is also equally important. Then next, Shiva, can you just read the fifth one?
Summarize for understanding.
Summarize for understanding. When there is some important discussion is going on, like suppose if Rudra and I have told Rudra that okay Rudra, we are going to have this ICHAP camp on this particular date, and I expect 20 volunteers to come, and there will be some diabetes camp also. All these things I have told him. He will summarize that Deepak, we have been talking for quite some time now, and I feel that it amounts to this, and this is what is your expectation. So that is summarizing and reconfirming that what somebody has told is really taken in the right perspective. So summarizing is also equally important. Any questions on active listening? This is all on participant page manual, participant page 2. Any questions on active listening? Okay. Then we go to non-verbal communication. There is one theory of Mehrbin. In Mehrbin theory, it is proved that 55% of your communication is non-verbal. And in non-verbal communication, what is the first one, Madhura?
Facial expression.
Facial expression. Your facial expression tells it all. If you are angry, if you are happy, if you are worried, if you are tense, if you are depressed, your facial expression will tell.
Yes.
Okay? You don't have to ask him what is happening to you. Its facial expression will tell that how the person is in what mood is. So when you speak to somebody, you have to keep it in mind that what is his mood. See, we have to see that part also to become an effective communicator. That the person whom we are going to do tell something, what is his mood. So facial expressions are very important. It can be anger, it can be stress, it can be happiness. Next, Shiva.
Body movements and posture.
Body movement and postures. Now body movement and postures are very important. Body movement and postures also tells us many things. Like facial expressions are universal, body movements and expressions are also more or less same. Now if somebody is sitting like this, then he is not interested much. Or if somebody is taking part in the discussion like this, then we feel that okay, yes, he is interested in this. So that will show that if somebody is sitting like this and looking away and maybe is checking his watch or mobile, it means this guy is not interested. So we have to look very analytically at the body movement also of the person when we are communicating to somebody to become a good communicator. and postures. Now, what is the third one, Shiva?
Yes, yes.
Gestures. Now, gestures are very important. Gestures like these, or like these, or like these, or like these. This will tell us what is in the mind of the person. If person is angry, his gesture will be, he may keep his fist like this, or if the person is happy, or if I do high five to Balbir, then it is my happiness. You don't have to tell that what is happening. My happiness will definitely reflect in the gesture itself. But gestures are, mind well, my friend, are not universal. Something which is a good gesture in India could be a very bad gesture in some other country. So we have to be very careful while using the gestures and understanding the gestures. Then the next, Balbir?
Eye contact.
Eye contact. Eye contact is very, very important, because eye contact will immediately tell you that how that person's chemistry is matching with you, how he is reacting to what you are saying. See, if so many times you must have experienced that with some people, the moment you make the eye contact, your chemistry matches. Even in lighter terms, you can say love at first sight. There also the eye contact comes into the picture. So eye contact is something which is very, very important in becoming a good communicator. And as second vice district governor, when you are talking to your people like the club level or district level, you have to use all these non-verbal communication. You have to observe and apply these non-verbal communication techniques. Then next, what is the third one? Anybody remembers the third objective, Balbir?
Objective.
Direct expression. Direct expression. Jack and John, they were two friends, and they were on a service in church on a Sunday. Suddenly, Jack felt like smoking, so he asked John, "Can I smoke while I am praying?" So John said, "Why are you asking me? There is the priest, so you go and ask priest." So Jack went to priest and said, "Father, can I smoke while I am praying?" Father said, No. That's a great disrespect to the Almighty God. You cannot smoke while you are praying. So he came back to John and said what Father said. So John said, "Okay, let me go and try." So he went to Father and asked him, "Father, can I pray while I am smoking?" He said, Yes, my son. You can pray any time of the day or night. God is omnipotent. You can pray anytime. There is no problem in praying while you are smoking. You can do that. So the direct expression, that means a lot. How you present yourself. See, there are some examples I will show you. On your participant manual, page number 4. You are not listening to me. There is one example you show here. And I would like to be listened to. Now, when you put I factor into the matter, it immediately becomes, the onus comes on you. You become non-offensive. You are not listening to me, that means you are blaming somebody that you are not listening to me. But once you say, I would like to be listened to, that is, you are putting yourself into that position where you would like to be listened to. So, that I factor, now there are some examples given. Mandira, can you read all these 4 examples what are given on page number 5? Page number 5.
Page number 5. You want to say, you are not listening to me, and use this I statement instead. I would like the opportunity to be heard. Secondly, if you want to say, you know that's not the right solution, use this I statement instead. I see a different solution to the problem.
Okay, Shiva, third one on page number
Or
5.
you want to say, you are really frustrating me. Use this I statement instead.
That is offending. You are frustrating me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am feeling very frustrated right now.
So I am taking onus on me that I am feeling frustrated. It's not that you have frustrated me. You are not blaming somebody, but at the same time you are making the statement and making that person known that you are frustrated. So that is the way, a skill which you have to develop as second vice district governor to communicate with your people, because we are in a voluntary organization. Here nobody is the employee. We are all same, and all are coming, spending their time, money and energy. So when we deal with the NGOs, we have to be very, very careful. We have always to keep that honest with eye on ourselves when we want to complain about something. And the fourth one, I read for you. You never include me in decisions. Here, so I would like also to be heard before you take the decision. So that is again taking the onus on yourself. So any questions on this thing?
That's okay. That's okay.
Now we go to the next one. Giving and receiving feedback. Now this is one of the most important part as a second vice district governor, or next year when you become first vice district governor and when you become district governor. Because when you assign, because you have to delegate all the time. And when you delegate, you have to give the feedback and you have to receive the feedback. Now, Rudra, can you read? What are the traits of giving the feedback?
Okay.
Open your page number 6 of your participant manual.
Giving and receiving feedback.
Yes.
Firstly, be supportive,
Be supportive.
be direct, be specific, be thoughtful, be timely.
Be supportive. Thank you. Be supportive. When you give feedback, you have always to be supportive, because you are giving feedback not to discourage somebody, or you don't want that person to plummet down. You don't want that person to become discouraged and demotivated. In fact, you want some more thing from that person. Your expectations are more from that person, and that's why you are giving that feedback. So when you give the feedback, you have to give that supportive feeling that okay, I really appreciate what you have done, but if you would have done like this, don't you think it would have been better? Something like that we tell the person. So you have to be supportive to the person, to not to ensure that his moral doesn't go down and he takes it in the right perspective. Second thing is be direct. Now you have to be direct while giving the feedback. You cannot mince the words, and you give specifically about the particular thing, that this is what is the matter. So you have to be direct. Then you have to be specific. If you tell somebody in general that Rudra, every time I tell you this and this happens, now that is not the right thing. But if I have to give you any feedback, Rudra, in this particular event, what had happened was really, I am sure you must have done the best, because if I put myself in your place, I would know. But I think we could have done little better on this if you would have followed this. Like that, you have to be specific and you have to be thoughtful. Why thoughtful? Because you are giving instruction to somebody, but you have to be thoughtful, understanding that under what circumstances he has carried out this work. So you have to put yourself into the shoes of others before giving any critical feedback, and you have to understand that what was the degree of success that he could have got given the circumstances, right? So you have to be thoughtful and you have to be timely. If you do not give the feedback in time, if you have done too good work and if your president or if your district governor doesn't recognize you timely, and a few words, and it's not the medal always, a few words of appreciation also means a lot, and that timely feedback is also very, very important, right? Now, when we have to receive the feedback also, as a vice district governor, you will be receiving feedback also from your district governor, from your past district governors. When the PDG owner is there, there will be some feedbacks. So you have to take the feedbacks also in a proper manner. For that, what traits you have to learn? Shiva, can you read?
Listen actively, ask for examples, resist debate, process feedback in your own time.
In your own time. So listen actively. When somebody gives the feedback, our body language, our facial expression, our gestures, and our attentiveness should be 100%, so that the person really feels encouraged that okay, I am giving some feedback and this guy is taking in the proper perspective. So that is very important. Then if you have any, if you feel that the feedback is going in general way, you can always ask for the examples. Sir, can you give the example so that I can really improve on that next time? You can ask for such examples whenever it is necessary, right? And then resist debate. When somebody is giving feedback, so many things will come in your mind that okay, I had told Shiva to do this, but if Shiva has not done and the things have got delayed, so what is my fault in that? Never resist, never give any feedback, never debate. You take the feedback as it comes to you, then you process that in your own time, that okay, I had given to Shiva, but had I checked what Shiva had done later on, had I asked Shiva 10 times that Shiva, what is the progress? So it is actually my fault, maybe. So that kind of processing of the feedback will be there in your mind, and then you respond, right? So giving and receiving feedback is also equally important. This is given on your page number 6 that you already see. Now that we have learned 4 skills, Parveer, can you tell what was the first skill?
First skill was facial expression.
Facial, active listening. Then facial expression,
Non-verbal
that is gestures and body language, right?
Non-verbal communication.
Non-verbal communication. Then direct expressions and giving and receiving feedback. Any questions on this so far? Okay. Now when you have learned all these things, we will put that into action to see how we can apply these techniques in practice. Okay. So open page number 7 of your participant manual. Now I am dividing you into 2 groups. Balbir and Mandira is group 1 and Shiva and Rudra group 2. Okay. So both the groups, I am giving 2 skills to each group. I am giving the first skill, active listening, and giving and receiving feedback to group number 1. And non-verbal communication and direct expression to group number 2. You have to create an actual situation. There are some guidelines given in your participant manual that it could be a committee meeting or district cabinet meeting, okay, or a meeting before the conference. So you have to use these 2 skills and prepare a script of role play for 2 minutes. Both the participants will come here and use these 2 skills in the role play. Active listening, giving and receiving feedback for Mandira and Balbir, and non-verbal and direct expression for Rudra and Shiva. Your time starts now.
Receiving also. Giving and receiving.
Active listening, giving and receiving feedback.
Situation, district cabinet meeting. District cabinet meeting.
let me be a participant there, cabinet member हो जाएंगे.
मैं इसको प्रपोजल रख रहा हूँ ड्यूज बढ़ाने का. आप उसको ड्यूज बढ़ाने के फेवर में नहीं है.
नहीं है.
ओके.
तो give me some points कि इसलिए बनाना है, इसलिए बनाना है, इसलिए बनाना है.
एक्सपेंस कॉस्टली नेशनल
Right. कोई एक स्क्रीन
Very interesting. This is how your cabinet will come.
You शुरू तो आप करेंगे because you are the district governor.
So I will give you reasons for it. I will give you reasons.
First you have to say very tactfully that because expenses are rising everywhere, so we have decided to increase the district dues. No, that you give the points later on. First of all, you want to increase by how much? अभी कितना है? 400.
Whatever the
Yes, 400 अच्छा है. Then I will say why later on when you can convince me, you can come down to 350. Later on you come to 350. First you say.
So अब इसमें do not defer judgment, do not interrupt the speaker, disagree with what is being said. Paraphrase for clarity. So I understand it. Pay attention. So ये सब cover हो जाएगा इसमें.
कौन सा?
Pay attention, do not rely on memory, defer judgment, paraphrase for clarity.
No, you say something. Some points I will miss. I will not.
Listen.
So then you will understand that she has not listened properly. So she is not understanding the issue. Then you can tell. See, I have told you this, but you did not listen properly. मैंने ये नहीं बोला था. मैंने ये बोला था.
ठीक है. So dues को बढ़ाना है. You have to increase the dues. It is a matter is being brought over district government. You are busy. You are a member opposing this thing. You wanted to ask for it. Increased. I will give you the reasons for that.
You have still 4 minutes to go.
Okay, now what about this feedback? Giving a
When you are talking to me, I will not listen to you properly. I will look that side, hear this side. Okay, maybe mobile देखूंगी. So it will not sink in. Then you say that you are not listening properly. You did not listen properly. है ना? इतने काफी है.
You will resist debate. I will resist debate.
कौन सा?
This
नहीं. Don't go to resist debate. यहाँ में तो we just active listening करना है.
और giving and receiving feedback करना है.
तो वो बाद में है. Active listening हो गया क्या?
हो गया.
You can paraphrase for clarity.
अच्छा.
मैंने सुना नहीं ना पहले. So you can again paraphrase, or maybe I can paraphrase. You have said, so I will paraphrase. Then summarize for
I will say
understanding.
you have to do the paraphrase.
I will
am
do the
telling you
paraphrase.
increase.
Then we will summarize.
Okay, so you mean to say so and so and so is the paraphrase.
Summarize also.
Shall we start?
Summarize. Then giving and receiving feedback.
So be supportive, be direct, be specific. Giving feedback is right.
To receive.
And receiving feedback means
Are you ready?
just one more
Okay.
feedback.
You have now 1 more minute.
Yes. ये हो गया first one. Giving and receiving feedback में क्या होगा? You can be supportive because I will say it is too much. So you can come down a little bit. 350 से 100 से क्या 150 हमारे.
No, I have stopped it So guys, your time is up now.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Both the groups, group 1, ready?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with group 2 first.
Okay.
What are your subjects, Shiva?
Facial expression, non-verbal communication,
And
direct expression.
direct expression. Now, group number 2 will come here and shows a role play using both these techniques. Please, here.
Now the situation is a district level service project, opening of a blood bank inaugural function. And he is the second vice district governor, and I am the project coordinator. Okay.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, yes, very much.
Okay. Line Shiva,
Yes?
did you prepare everything according to your checklist? So, very good. Did all the invitees confirm their attendance? Very good. Shall we start on time this project, this program? Wow, we are really honored. Thank you so much.
I am feeling honored right
Thank
now.
you, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to you. What is your feedback on this role play, Mandira? They were given non-verbal communication and direct expression. Did they use both the techniques?
Yes. They use non-verbal communication, giving the thumbs up,
Okay.
and he was able to explain. Yes.
He asked the direct questions and took the direct feedback. Okay. Very good. Now I will request group number 1 to come forward and do their role play.
So,
Okay. Here.
I am the district governor.
Okay.
And, she is the district cabinet member.
Okay.
We are discussing about
Cabinet meeting.
in a cabinet meeting. We are discussing about dues increase. So
Dues increase.
So
Okay.
how is it
They are discussing about dues increase in the cabinet meeting.
Okay. So
He is district governor and you are
Cabinet member.
cabinet member. Okay.
So we will. It has been proposed in this cabinet that we will increase the district dues from 300 to 400 rupees because there is a lot of increase in the expenses. So it is proposal is good.
What did you say from the district?
Mandira, can you speak little loudly so that our other cabinet members also can listen to it?
Did you say you want to increase district dues?
Yes, 300 to 400 rupees because lot of expenses. Yes.
But you know, in this pandemic, so many people are losing jobs, and now suddenly in this crisis, if you want to increase the dues, then many people then will leave our organization. Just think about it.
Okay. So I will just do some quick
So
calculation.
you mean to say that from 300 you are directly you want to increase it to 400? That is what you mean?
Okay, madam, I got your point and I got the point of your fellow members also. So let's do it in a gradual way. Instead of 100, we will go for the 50, okay, 350. So I've been listening to what your colleagues are saying and what you have expressed on behalf of you, okay?
You're being so supportive, really.
Thank you.
We're so thankful that you're being so supportive.
Thank you.
And it is the specific, in the heads you have to see how much you have to pay LCCI, how much you have to pay the international, and how much you actually require in the district for running of the administration. Only that much you may
Okay,
increase.
I will
Then
take your-
everybody will be happy.
I will take your points, your colleagues' points and incorporate it in the proposal.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Give them a big round of applause, sir. Now Shiva, your feedback. Did they follow both the trends,
Yes, sir.
active listening and giving and receiving feedback?
Yes, sir. Active listening is happened. The official is ready to hear what the participants are saying. He put on the listening and give right feedback and convince the persons.
At the same time, he did not commit. He said, I have taken the note of it. He has taken the positive note of it, but I mean, because it's a combined decision, it's a joint decision, so one person cannot take, that is understood. So friends,
So
as a
district-
second vice district governor, there is the first vice district.
District governors don't commit, directly.
Yeah. So, as a second vice district governor, then as the first vice district governor, then as district governor, you have to keep using these skills which you have learned today, because these skills are going to be really, really useful to you, because these are all proven skills all over the globe. And these skills will definitely make you a better communicator. Because communication is an art, it's not a science. There is no ready formula that you put in the formula and you get the solution. In no person can do in all situation proper communication. But by learning these skills, we can become a reasonably effective communicator. And that we have to become as second vice district governor, and that is why this session. Now, we come to the next part, which is many times ignored, and that is cross-level communication. What can you think of, Shiva, after looking at this picture? What do you mean by cross-level communication?
The communication is to be from the lower level to the top level and top level to the lower level.
Exactly. Exactly. Perfect.
It
It has to be a two-way communication, and that is cross-level communication. So many times this is ignored in our districts, but this cross-level communication is the most important thing which as second vice district governor you have to promote in your districts. Now the next question is, what are the benefits of cross-level communication? Rudra, now this is an open question and anybody can answer. What are the benefits of cross-level communication?
Can I try?
Yes, please.
Say for example, between zones and clubs. So what
Yes.
club presidents or the club members want to convey to the zones their problems or their issues, so that can be conveyed to the zone. And what the district conveys to zone, administrative work or whatever administrative orders or requests, so that is communicated to the clubs. So it's a two-way communication.
It's a two-way communication. No, but what will be the benefits?
Benefits.
What will be the benefits of cross-level communication, Mandira?
Yeah, the instructions will
You are a
be
past
clear.
district governor.
Yeah.
You are a second vice district governor, so you have to tell me what are the benefits of cross-level communication. When we do the cross-level communication, that we have understood that okay, district governor and his team will communicate with the region and zone chairs. Zone chairs and region chairs will communicate with district. Region chairs and zone chairs will communicate with clubs. Clubs will communicate with zone chairs and region chairs. So there will be a two-way communication process. And what will be the benefits of this cross-level communication?
Shall I?
Yes, very much. Please.
The benefit of cross-level communication is that it's a manage the time properly.
Okay.
One thing is that.
Okay.
Because the district governor cannot receive all the phone calls of block president. And block president cannot
Can you write down here on the flip chart?
Here is the thing.
No, this is what is the benefit?
No, just let me. What the benefit is that the district.
Write down the benefit.
Yeah, district governor can communicate with the cross-level communication to the all president
Okay.
through the zone chair or
Yeah,
region chairs.
yeah.
Or through the club president can also communicate with the district governor through zone.
No, that is there today also. See, nobody is preventing you from communicating with district governor, or nobody is preventing you from communicating with zone chair.
Yes.
But what are the benefits?
No misunderstanding.
No mistake.
No misunderstanding.
Yes.
Can you write down here on the flip chart? Indira?
Yeah.
Yes. What else?
Because the message will percolate, through proper channel faster and more accurately to the club level.
More accurately to the club level. Very correct. Because it will percolate down to the club level, so all will be on the same page. Basically, the idea of cross-level communication is to bring all on the same page. And once all are on the same page, what will be the benefit?
Things will run smoothly.
Yes, it will help in achieving the goals. All will be working with the same frame of mind, and ultimately it will result into district success. Right? All agree with me? Any other points you want to
Yes.
say? We can write down on the flip chart.
Time saving is just.
Shiva, what other benefits you feel because of the cross-level communication, which as a second vice district governor you are supposed to promote in your district? What will be the benefit? You just write down what we have discussed just now. What benefits you have discussed, you can just note down.
It is seen with
Reach success, accuracy, time saving, harmony in the district. Now I will show you some of the points which I have also written. If you can put it in your participant manual, where there is a space for that. Benefits of cross-level communications are district-wide support and unity in achieving goals that we already discussed. Okay. Local identification of needs. Because you communicate with up to the club level, you know that okay, in this pocket, this particular community service is required. So once you do that, you will enhance the district image, and that will ultimately result into district success, right? You all are on the same page?
Yes.
Okay. And increased collaboration, because when you communicate more, your collaboration becomes stronger. And unified approach in solving the problem. That we already discussed, that there will be unified approach, all will be on the same page towards achieving the goal. Now, we are again going to do a small activity. I am giving you flip charts. One flip chart for table number 2 and one for table number 1. Now there are two questions given on your participant manual, page number 8. What are the challenges faced by your district in cross-level communication? You have to think the real situation. You have to brainstorm between two of you. This is a group activity. And you will have about 3 to 4 minutes to do this activity.
you have to do both.
And the second question is that as a second vice district governor, what measures you will take, what actions you will take to promote and make it a system-centric thing in your district across level communication. So both of you have to do a group activity, brainstorm and write down. You have 3 to 4 minutes to do this job, and then one of you decide, whoever will report that what are the points that you have thought of, and tell the audience. Same way Shiva and Rudra.
Challenges, when the supposing district joins and clubs.
You have 3 to 4 minutes. The time has already started.
Not conveyed. So why it may not be conveyed? Because zone chairman is not active.
What is the solution for that?
Solution which is,
Which is solution?
First of all, just question one में only challenges है, यहाँ में नहीं है.
One link is missing.
What are some ways, second wise is a different question. What are some challenges? पहले ये लेके
Example, ZC don't listen. Don't respond.
लिखूँ ना, time नहीं है ना.
Yes.
तो ये पहले challenges है.
For example, zone or RC don't respond.
नहीं, ऊपर में heading देना है ना. What
Challenges.
are some challenges that your district experience? Challenges. एक नंबर में that जो chairpersons, if they are not cooperative.
They are not cooperative.
यहाँ में और एक बोलिए, not active or
Ignore messages.
cooperative. वो तो हो गया एक सेकंड में ना. और एक पॉइंट बोलिए challenges में.
Wrong reporting.
Misunderstanding of the message.
Misunderstanding of the message. And what are the ways you say you can promote cross-level communication? You can appoint some other leader.
Yes, your instruction. Second one बोलिए.
Secondly, how can as ICC governors you can support promote cross-level
Yes, उल्टा साइड में लिखो.
Are you ready?
और picture हो गया, दोनों करते हैं. What are some ways of the second ways?
Group one.
Can
Group 1 is ready?
just one minute.
Okay.
Appoint another leader.
I'm giving you another 20 seconds and then we can
Okay.
you can start voting.
Contact person.
Okay, your time is up now. Group number 2.
क्या है बोलना है इसमें?
Who will report? Shiva.
Contact person.
Yeah, come.
Just contact person. You explain.
Just read out loudly for the house.
Contact person आपको बता दीजिए.
It's the challenges in district level. The first one, ignoring important message. So much of communications received from district level and zone level, the PSCs are not having enough time to go through it. They ignore so many messages. In this, some important messages are also to be skipped. And repeated communication. We are in the electronic world. Using the WhatsApp, they are sending so many messages. It's possible to skip up important
Okay.
messages. Yes.
Okay. Another challenge is we face is that basically the information and communication.
Okay.
That means somehow the
Okay.
message
Okay.
shall be
Yes.
given
Yes,
to the
yes.
club level, but due to some district level of politics,
Oh,
this
okay.
message may be
It's a misleading and misinformation.
misinformation. Can
Thank
be
you,
created.
thank you. Now group number 1 will tell what second. They will ask second question.
Same, please.
No. What action you have planned to take as second vice district governor?
Appoint another leader or
Come here and with your flip charts. Mudira.
will appoint appoint another leader or send someone to communicate with him, and secondly contact him directly as second
Okay.
vice district governor.
Okay, thank you. Give them a big round of applause and clap for you also. You have done a wonderful job, and as a second vice district governor, you have to keep doing this. All the time you have to keep cross-level communication, how you can better and better make the cross-level communication. And now, before we conclude, let us go back to the session objectives. Have we achieved recognized communication process?
Yes.
Yes.
All?
Yes.
Have we identified effective communication skills?
Yes.
Yes.
Utilized skills?
Yes.
Yes.
And also we have done to promote cross-level communication.
Yes.
And finally, a British composer, John Powell, what he has said, communication works for those who work at it. So you have to work at communication all the time. Keep working on communication. My best luck to you. Thank you very much for having this session and active participation. Thank you.
I want the feedback. You get it.